All right, I believe we're on Facebook Live. Okay, hello everyone. It is me, Christine Diamond, founder of Harvest Consulting, your business consultant who helps you to live in your zone of genius, doing more of what you love, less of what you don't, and buying back your time. So, we want you to be able to grow your business with confidence. And I'm super excited to have James Allen here as our business spotlight. Really excited to discuss more about what it means to maximize your audience, and especially on on YouTube and in podcasts, really using the messaging to directly work with your audience one-on-one in interviews and all that. And so I'd love for you to introduce yourself and then we can get into the topic.
Cool. Yeah, I'll keep it Cliff Notes. So I'm James Allen. I run a business called Profit Your Knowledge, and I started in construction work of all things. That's what I was doing back in the day. Found out about coaching. I said, that sounds amazing. I want that to be my life and my business and everything and get paid to do that. So I went into it, realized that it was a lot harder than I thought it was when I got into the field. I got certifications, I did training and all that, but there's no doubt that when you get into the game, it's tricky and it's not easy. Building an audience is probably the hardest part. Getting started is actually the easy part, but yeah, building the audience is the difficult part. And I tried building a bunch of different digital products, about 5 digital products. Didn't make me any money. And then I learned about passive income, was like, that's the dream. I want to work fewer hours and grow my income simultaneously. So learned about the programs, couldn't sell any. And then I finally woke up one day and I sold a program for $200. And it was like, what? Incredible. And no interaction whatsoever with the person, just from emails and free content, that kind of stuff from my YouTube channel. And then a few weeks later, I had like a $300 sale, and then it started just snowballing. And then it was paying my rent every month and that kind of stuff. And then I started helping other people, and that's pretty much what started Profit Your Knowledge. So yeah, it's a pretty cool journey. And now I've gotten way better over the years. So
yeah. So there's a big misconception that if you have a lot more followers, a huger audience, that you'll then be able to earn more money. So what is the actual truth that you've noticed in specifically marketing to your small audience that actually converts them into wanting to purchase from you?
Yeah, so there's a couple different factors. And yeah, just to squish that bug, when I was making the passive income, I was doing good with like sales calls and stuff. I had like $10,000 days and that kind of stuff, which is awesome, but it always had to be very manual. It wasn't automated, which was the big piece. But I had like 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I started making thousands of dollars from that. And people think, oh, 200 subscribers, that's nothing. And it really isn't in the grand scheme of YouTube. But as long as you're making the right content for the right person, then you're going to get discovered by the right people. And it just takes one person to buy one program. If it's a coaching program or anything like that, people book calls through my YouTube channel. And, I don't even care about AdSense monetization, but the factors include, the biggest one is knowing your niche, who you specifically help and what you help them do. And when you understand that and really understand your audience, customer research is huge. That was the biggest factor in me selling the one program against the 5 that didn't sell, was good customer research and really getting to know my audience, what their pain points were, what their dreams and desires were. Because when you understand that and you're really clear as to the perfect person you can help, you can speak to them in every piece of content, every lead magnet you build, every program you build. And a lot of people aren't clear enough on that. And that's why everything else isn't really working, because it's jumbled up and it's not congruent.
Yeah. And so when you're actually deciding on your niche, at least for me, it was a little bit unnerving because then you're not offering to as many people and you're cutting it down. For me, I had to pick, okay, where am I skilled? What knowledge base do I have in the industry? Who have I had previous success with that I really enjoyed working with? Those kind of like how I picked my niche. Are there any other tips or advice that you would give people when they are honing in on that niche to make the right call?
Yeah, absolutely. I've learned over the years, and it makes it a lot easier to focus on a specific problem,
Mm,
Business is about solving problems. You hire a dog walker, you have a garbage service. It's solving a problem for you, you know, and getting your hair cut. Like everything, every business is just solving a problem. And you can solve that problem in your coaching business through private coaching, group coaching, or your one-on-one pro or like self-paced programs or audiobooks, ebooks, anything like that. It's just
right.
solving problems. So with your niche, I like to think of it as like a really big problem that isn't just solved in one conversation. And for me, for example, the big pressing problem that I know a lot of people have, because that is the sweet spot. It's like, what's this big problem that a lot of people experience? And I thoroughly enjoy solving that problem. So it's like, if you're really good at solving a big problem that a lot of people have, you will have a successful business. For me, over the years, it took a while to get to this point because I had to learn how to do it myself. But now I am helping coaches specifically break past 10K months in under 20 hours a week. Very
Hmm.
simple. And you hear that and you're like, yeah, if any coach who is identifies himself as a coach, which most people do, you know, like consultants and speakers and stuff. That's why I chose that word specifically. But I know from experience that 10K months is such a great milestone, and making the first six figures is the hardest. But after that, the next six figures is a lot easier because you know how to do it. And that's, I always heard that growing up, you know, growing up as an entrepreneur, I guess. And yeah, that's a real thing. So I decided on the big pressing pain point that I know every single coach who I love to help, because profit your knowledge, that's what it's all about, faces. And that's like, I want to make 10K months. So thinking of like, what's a big problem I can solve that isn't just a one-off thing. It's not just like you just answer it. Like you can't just solve 10K months. There's a lot of things. There's like raising your prices. There's knowing your worth. There's finding your coaching niche, you know, email sequences, especially like decreasing the work hours. So each micro problem or sub problem is what I'm solving in every piece of content. I just made a YouTube video about this, finding your perfect coaching niche. And that's one problem that I'm solving. And I talked more about this, but I think focusing on one, like niching by a problem. There's really successful businesses that focus on recently divorced men, helping them
Mm.
get back into dating. Very specific problem, but it's
Yeah, it
also
is.
a very big problem. There's a lot that goes into that big problem. So when you can
Hmm.
niche by a problem that a lot of people have that you know you can help and you can solve for them, especially if you've done it for yourself, you'll be in a good position. I would say start by just thinking, what are big problems I've solved for myself? And
Yeah.
that's a great way to get started with it.
So what I'm actually hearing is there is a combo. I think that when people work on finding a niche, it's just the demographic. So it'd be
Mhm.
like, I work with recently divorced men. Okay, what are you doing for them? So,
Yeah.
then it's like that want to get back into the dating scene. Okay. Um, so for me, I was like, okay, I can work with a lot of established business owners and help them with systemization. That's kind of this over here, just like, sure. But then it's real estate investing business owners who are maxed out. They want to buy back their time and trust a virtual assistant key player.
Mm.
It's like is that more closely related to a problem niche combo? Or would you even say it needs to be honed in further?
No, I think there's such thing as like too niche. We just some people, it's like you hear their niche, you're like, I don't even get it. Like it's just too much, and it doesn't seem realistic. And you don't want to put yourself into like, I don't think, too tight of a box. Me
Okay.
helping coaches break past 10K months, it's just like a very clear thing. And I think it's helpful. What's helped me is creating like an avatar story. And it's
Hmm.
thinking of this person who, what is the story? Where are they at in their journey where you come in and are the savior for them? You're the person who's going to take them to that next level. So for me, literally my story and what my experience is and what I've just noticed most every coach has. We find out about coaching. We say, that sounds amazing. And we say, I want my business to be like that. I want to speak on stages, have programs and, coach people and whatnot. I don't want to be in this job. And then they get their training, certifications, that kind of stuff. And then they get out into the field, like I mentioned. Oh my gosh, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. All I want to do is be able to make like six figures in this business, and I don't want to be working 80 hours a week. I want to have freedom. That's what I wanted, If I was, when I first started, saw my like YouTube channel right now, and it's right at the top, said helping coaches 10K a month, under 20 hours a week, I'd be like, this is a perfect channel for me. And
Yeah.
that's what you want. So if you look at your past experience and think, what was the journey I was on that I know how to like solve now? Like I know how to hit 10K months. I can do it consistently, you know, and beyond. And it's like, let's go for 20, 30K months. That's where I'm currently at, you know? Um, but I know that I can help those people because I've been able to do it myself. And that just makes you a more credible expert. So I think making it very realistic, I feel like a lot of coaches get like way too up there and try and sound all fancy and stuff. It's like, dude, what is a real life problem that I face or have faced in my life? And that it's just, it sounds real. Like I
Wow.
remember laying in my bed being like, dude, I want to do this coaching thing and I want to make 6 figures doing it. That was the biggest goal for me. I'm like, when I do that, then I will feel like a success. And then you do it, you hit 10K months and you're like, this isn't as much money as I thought it would be. But anyway, it's still an amazing milestone, but it's really challenging to get there. So I think coming up with an avatar story of the journey that this person is on that's real, especially if you've lived it, look in your past experience. And again, I know just because I talked to a ton of coaches, and it's like I know that that's where they're at. So that's what
Yeah.
helped me choose that big problem in my niche, if you will.
I think the words that we use need to be how that person is actually thinking and talking to themselves or talking to their colleagues.
Yeah, think
I
everyday
want to,
conversation.
yeah, every
I had
day.
a conversation with a client yesterday, and he's been super successful in the filmmaking industry. His clients are like McDonald's, Krispy Kreme, like those are his clients, and he films commercials and stuff. And he was coming up with this tagline of like, I help who do what, which is what I do. I help coaches break past 10K months under 20 hours a week. And he helps freelance filmmakers build wealth in their career and be able to retire early. That's what I came up with. And he had some other thing that sounded like future proof your, you know, systems and all this stuff. And I was like, it's too fancy, you know, make it simple. I would never say that. I'd be like, yeah, I want to like future proof my savings or whatever. I'd be like, dude, I want to make a bunch of money, be wealthy, and I want to retire early. That's what I would say in a casual conversation. I'm a
Yeah.
coach. I'm on my goal to hit 10K months, you know, and I want to do it in like, I don't know, 20 hours a week or something like that. So it's just use everyday language and it will serve you better with everything you do, copywriting, everything, but especially with your niche. Because like if he's at a networking event now and he's around a bunch of freelance filmmakers and they're like, so what, well, you're doing a business, like what is it? He'll be like, well, I help freelance filmmakers build wealth in their career and then be able to retire early. I'd be like, well, how do you do that? You know, it just, I don't know. That sounds a lot more sexy to me than some fancy super thing that people always come up with, you know, trying to sound
Yeah.
special.
And I think that because we are experts in our own sphere, we want to use the jargon or the language of that expertise and background,
Yeah.
but we're not with our comrades who are also like myself as an operations developer or yourself in like monetizing your profit from your audience. And it's like these words that we use need to be super approachable,
Yeah.
very approachable. And I love that you said a real story. It's like really what people are going through. And when we speak to that and we speak to that on repeat, then other people are able to remember what we do and it makes it much easier. Okay, so now I have a question. What is the best next step for people to engage with you in learning how to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. So my YouTube channel's a great resource, tons of content on there. You can binge content and learn a lot. I've had people message me and be like, dude, I built my whole business from a YouTube channel. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And they didn't even pay me, which is, that's fine. I think it's just goodwill. And then it leads to people, you know, wanting to check out programs and stuff. But if you just Google profit your knowledge, I will come up. And there is a free masterclass you can check out if you land on my website. It'll, you know, show you to it. That's a great masterclass to get you started too. You can always go to profityourknowledge.com/masterclass and take you straight to the page. Opt in, sign up, and then you can check out the training right away. But it's like an hour training. I'm going to be revamping it pretty soon. I want it to be a bit, you know, shorter, a bit more digestible. But it'll be awesome. And then that'll walk you through how to create really good products, how to build a system to sell the product, and then how to drive traffic to it and keep it semi-passive. You still have to work, but
Yeah.
yeah, you will be able to make money like while you sleep, literally, because I've done it and still do.
Awesome. Well, way to go. And I'm super grateful that we were able to have this conversation. Those who are watching, definitely check out Profit Your Knowledge all over on YouTube, online, anywhere, and reach out to James Allen. Thanks so much for hopping in to the Business Spotlight with Harvest Consulting. And I hope you have a great day.
Thanks for having me.
See you. Bye.